People don't buy based on logic reason or because it makes sense on paper. Let me show what I mean, not with a framework, not with something fancy, but with a sandwich. Just wait for me. This is just 2 pieces of chicken coated in white bread. Objectively, nothing special. But for me, it's one of the best meals in the world. And it's because I attach a particular memory with it. And no one can convince me otherwise. Not any fitness trainer, not any specialist, nutritionist, or whatever. I don't care what they think. This is, for me, one of the best meals in the world. And I'm gonna explain you why. Because of the emotion that I attach to it. It's because of a memory. You see, when I was a kid, we were driving to Portugal. It was taking us 24 hours. And my mom, the day before, was preparing us meals that we could eat on the road. And so she was packing the sandwiches in Tupperware. And I remember when we were stopping on the road, opening this box, and I used to take like one of those pieces of chicken, put it in the middle of white bread, and I was eating that. And in that moment, what I remember is that it was the trip with my parents to go to Portugal. It was kind of a comfort in a journey that was quite exhausting. And you don't forget that. You keep that as a memory. And all those things is because they're part of a ritual. And you do that because it's the feeling that you want after. It's the craving that you have after a night out. And for you, it's in logic and you don't think about it. And if you're a creator, a small business owner, if you're selling a service or trying to grow a business or working with other people, and you're not thinking about psychology, you're not thinking about how people feel, you will not succeed in what you're trying to do. And this is what most of a product creator miss. They chase the perfection, but they forget the emotion. There is this great philosopher, Schopenhauer, and he was saying this about human life swings like a pendulum between boredom and suffering. So when you look into it, you want things, whatever it is. And the things that you want is not what you want to achieve. What you want to achieve is what it makes you feel. It's the emotion that you will get if you have it. And so what happens is that you get a desire towards it. And because this desire is not filled, what you feel is suffering. But you only suffer until you get it. The thing is that what you think about that feeling is that once you get it, you will be happy. And the problem is that when you encounter it, you don't feel happiness. Because you have it, you don't desire it anymore, so you're not suffering anymore. And what you're feeling at this point is boredom. It's like being single and you suffer from being single and the boredom of being in a couple. Or it's the fact that you do not have a job and the boredom about being an employee. And this is what Schopenhauer was saying about this swinging between boredom and suffering. And this pendulum is super important to understand for us. Because this is exactly why people swipe all the time on dating apps. They think that they're gonna maybe meet, the love of their life they heard on TV. This is also why people are chasing things like money or they are chasing things like a six-pack abs. It's about how it will make them feel. Not how they will look or what people think about them. It's about how it will make them feel. Because if they feel that, for example, a suit or a six-pack ab make them more confident, make them more attractive, they will get it to feel like that. And there is nothing that can convince you otherwise. Because it's your particular feeling that are doing that to you. And so when you look into it, we buy, we scroll, we eat, we create, we consume to avoid this pendulum. And that's what your product or your service is really competing with. I remember also this interview from the VP of Coca-Cola, and someone was saying to him, oh, now you have Pepsi, so you have a big competition. And basically he was saying, no, my competition is everything that is refreshing. He was taking a step back on what was really the competition of Coca-Cola and not just seeing the direct competition that was Pepsi. And so when you look at your services, you need to think about the feeling, about what people are gonna get, what is the transformation they're gonna get when they go through your product. And so they buy meaning, they buy an escape, they buy a feeling. And so one of the things that is really important is to understand the 6 basic human needs. Certainty, because we want to be sure about things that are happening, but also uncertainty, because we love a surprise. That's the second human need. Significance, because we want to be significant. We want to have a status in life. This is why, for example, we invented all the loyalty program. We want to feel then afterwards connected with love. This is what we want to feel. It's a basic human need. We want to grow. And finally, as human, we want to contribute. We want to contribute whether to society or to our community. And so when you think about your product, you need to think about what it's helping the consumer to achieve. If, for example, you think about Deliveroo is again against tapping into laziness. It's the fact that you get the thing on demand without doing anything. Netflix is tapping into boredom. And the fact that you get excitement just by maybe choosing the next movie. And potentially contribute to the rest of society also, because when you meet your friends, have you seen the latest TV show? Like, for example, people were talking about adolescence so much. Certain things is not necessarily things that you love, but it's also to be part of something. And so when you think about your product, if, for example, you sell an event, what are you selling if you're selling this event? You're selling an experience. You don't want people to miss out, right? The other thing is that let's imagine that you're a personal trainer. What you're selling is confidence, maybe attractiveness, because people want to be attractive if they're a male and they want to get laid, basically. If you're selling a training or a coaching for a business, it's because people are looking maybe for money. Money could mean for them that they're get access to better relationships. It's a question of status. And this is why it's really important to understand that people buy feelings and not things. You really need to tap into the feelings of people if you want your product to be successful. And so, which brings me back again to Schopenhauer, the last quote. We buy not what we need, but what reflects who we want to be. That's it. You don't buy an iPhone just for the phone in itself, the functionality. You buy the simplicity, you buy the style, you buy maybe the ecosystem, you buy the vibe that goes with it. You buy the narrative you tell yourself. And then afterwards you justify it with logic. But not the way around. It's not the logic and then the emotion. First the emotion and then the logic. And so it's not just billion-dollar brand that can do that. You know, for example, I'm following Dan Churchill, I'm following Chris Hemsworth, and with their Aussie accent, they are making you feel part of their community. You know, Dan Churchill call you legend all the time. Hey, legends, you know, with his Aussie accent that I can't do. But it's something amazing because you feel part of it. No one says it like him, but he owns it, and now it's his signature. And that's how you stand out. You don't need more features. You need memory tree. For example, I'm part of a group, which is Grupo Esencia. That is from Marco and Sarah, which are amazing bachata teachers. And they always say the same thing. We are not the worst. We are not the best either. But we always give our all and we always have fun. This is what they say before every performance with your team. And this stays in you because it gives you this feeling that you're part of it. And even if they're the teachers and you're just a student, it makes you feel part of this experience with. So you don't need more feature. You don't need to explain what you're offering, what are the benefits and all that. What you need is memory triggers, a word, a ritual, a vibe. That thing that when people experience you, they experience just you and they know it's you. When they get your email, walk into your shop or hear your voice. That's what makes remember you and come back. So let's bring it home. If you're building something right now, don't ask what's the future. Ask what will they feel? What part of a ritual will you become? What emotion will they attach to you? What story are they trying to write about themselves? How can your product, your service be part of a transformation? Everybody is on a hero's journey. This is why I love so much to talk about heroes and about quests and about adventure, because I was raised with video games, RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons. It's about how you could be in this world. And you could be anything you wanted. You could be any type of hero you want. Because in a world swinging between boredom and suffering, the real value isn't in solving a problem. It is in making someone feel something real.